This recording is to discuss how availability is calculated. First, from the main menu, select Inventory, and then let's take a look at our Inventory Summary. In the Inventory Summary screen, we have a number of optional columns, and the leftmost and frequently most important to our sales staff in particular is how many plants are available for sale. First, as we discuss this, let's remove from our illustration plants that are either oversold or have nothing available at the moment. If I click in this column, move to my filter screen at the top, and then simply type greater than 0 and enter, then I'll get all plants that have an availability greater than 0. Now, in order to illustrate the calculation, how we come up with this number, remember we're on the summary screen, so each line item is a summary of all plants in all locations that match this description. We start with the base count. How many plants were counted? After that count date in each location, have there been any plants that were moved for some reason out of that location to another size or culled for some reason? If they were left in the same status and simply moved to another location, they still are in the count. But at this point, the computer figures that out. How many plants do you have, and after the count date, did you cull any? The next thing it does from the count is it subtracts any that are on hold. So we remove anything that might be held back out of availability for whatever reason. The next thing that we do is we remove anything after the count date that has been shipped. So as we move into the shipped column, it's subtracted from the count if it was shipped after the count date, and it won't show up in this column with a count unless it's been shipped after the date that it was counted. The next thing is to remove anything that is on order. So in this column, we show anything that is spoken for. In other words, we counted it, but you can't sell it even though it's out there because someone already has it on order. Then at that point, that subtraction occurs. Now as we move left, we take a look at how many of these plants remember the salability code. The salability code determines whether they are available to be sold or not available to be sold. So they are either in ready or not ready status based on a description of that salability code. So if the plants are in not ready status, of course, they're not in the availability. So at this point, they are additionally subtracted. So on our top line, for example, where we've got nearly 2,000 counted, then we had some on order. We have nothing on holdback, nothing transferred. We do have 1,500 of these are in not ready status, so those can't be sold. So at this point, we only have 450 in ready status, and of those, we've subtracted the 30 that are on order and leaves us 420 that are available to sell. In addition, for those greenhouse operations or operations that use flat counts, these particular counts here where we start with a base count, everything starts with the number of each plants. So this is an each count. If you use flats, then we go to the product definition and we look at the default flat type and we take that count and then we do the math and tell you how many individual items converts to how many flats. So this is a conversion from here to here. This will not be 100% accurate if you have sold the same plant material in different flat types. So our on-order type may be a bit off. So if you're consistent in the flat type for a particular plant, then this will be right on. Otherwise, it may be a tad off if you're not consistent in how you package and sell that material. So this then converts over to flat availability. So for those of you who think flats and not eaches, then you can simply refer to the flat count and flat availability. But remember, these are calculations, and it's only a packaging tool. It's not a firm count, since a flat can be multiple sizes for the same plant.